And for more insight into Macao's economy, let's now bring in Andy Mok. He's a senior research fellow at the Center for China and Globalization. Andy, thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure, Karina.
So can you help explain how has Macao's economy advanced? When I grew up and was living in Hong Kong, everyone went to Macao for the gambling, but how is it diversified from a gaming-focused model to one involving innovation, tourism, and culture?
Well, Karina, let me start by saying that from a personal perspective, I can completely understand this. I've lived in Hong Kong for a number of years, and you're right. Macao was seen absolutely as a destination for gaming, and that certainly has been a foundation of its success. So just a few quick numbers. Macao is a small place, about 700,000 people, but with a very high per capita GDP of about 50,000 US dollars, and that's largely attributable to the success of its gaming sector, which, despite the small size, it's about a tenth of the size of Las Vegas, and yet has a bigger gaming sector, and it contributes something like 50% of GDP. So I think what this means is that it provides a very solid foundation for a bright future for Macao. As you mentioned, culture, tourism, technological innovation are the areas being emphasized going forward. And, you know, I see two very interesting areas in particular. One is in fintech, financial technology. The second is the other sort of gaming, which is esports. And we see companies based in Macao that have become global platforms for this. And of course, this includes a part of it is culture, a part of it is tourism as well. So completely agree, that Macao historically has done very well, been a global leader in the gaming sector, and now is transitioning to these new areas of development of tourism, technological innovation, and culture.
And then when we talk about some of these other sectors that you just mentioned, how has the government's policy facilitated Macao's growth there, and what can it do to further stimulate growth moving forward?
Well, I think the most important government policy is this integration into the Greater Bay Area. So this region of the world is an economic powerhouse with a bit more than $2 trillion US dollars in GDP. It includes, of course, places like Shenzhen, which is home to some of the leading technology companies in the world, like DJI, like Tencent, like Huawei. So I think that this is very, very important. I think Macao, again, as a very small place with about 700,000 people, but with a very advanced economy, certainly also has very good models, including Hong Kong, Singapore, other very, very successful city-states as models or templates to follow. But I think it is within the overall framework of the Greater Bay Area, along with more specific policies, as we heard earlier, to attract global talent, providing targeted support to the industries of the future as well.
And Andy, you talked about tech flourishing. In what ways has Macao's shift towards technology and innovation created new opportunities for local businesses and startups?
Well, I'll come back to these two areas, one of fintech and one of esports. So in fintech, what makes Macao unique is that it is, of course, part of China, but with the PRC, with Hong Kong and Macao, there are three different currencies, three different monetary systems, and this allows it to be a sort of a sandbox or a place to innovate financial technology, including initiatives like mBridge, which is a platform that allows countries to use central CBDC, central bank digital currencies like the digital yuan. Thailand, the UAE, is also a part of this, and Macao, of course, is indirectly involved because the Pataka, which is their currency, is not directly involved currently. But this is certainly an economic catalyst for creating local jobs, attracting global talent, as this becomes, again, one of these industries of the future. And very briefly, I would say esports as well, that of course by attracting competitions, by developing talent, esports athletes, that this, of course, creates local jobs and economic activity across the gamut from hotels, restaurants, specialized consulting services, et cetera.